Did you know Africa could fit the United States, China, India, Japan, and all of Europe inside its borders? Yet, on most world maps, it appears much smaller. This is just one of the many misconceptions we will unpack today as we delve into a comprehensive comparison of Africa versus the world. Let's begin with geography and size. Africa is the second largest continent on Earth, spanning a massive 30.37 million square kilometers. Only Asia is larger. Within its boundaries lie 6 different time zones, stretching from Casablanca in Morocco to Port Louis in Mauritius. Home to 54 sovereign nations, including powerhouses like Nigeria, Ethiopia, and South Africa, the continent is a mosaic of cultures and languages. Around 2,000 languages are spoken across approximately 3,000 distinct ethnic groups. Now, let's move on to the economy. Between 2014 and 2016, Africa experienced significant economic growth. In 2014, its GDP expanded by 5%, surpassing the global average of 2.6%. 6 of the world's 10 fastest-growing economies were located in Africa: Ethiopia, Rwanda, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Ghana. Projections estimated a 4.5% growth in 2015, followed by a rebound to 5% in 2016. At this pace, Africa's output was doubling every 15 years. While Equatorial Guinea had the highest per capita PPP GDP, comparable to Spain, Burundi ranked as the poorest. Let's examine population and demographics. In 2015, Africa was home to 1.1 billion people, representing 17% of the global population. Sub-Saharan Africa's working-age population is projected to surpass the rest of the world combined by 2035. By 2040, it's estimated that half of the world's youth, those under 25, will be African. Now, consider Africa's resources. The continent holds 40% of the world's biodiversity and 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. Its inland water bodies are 3 times the size of its land mass. The Democratic Republic of Congo possesses over half of the world's cobalt reserves, and Africa produces 70% of the world's cocoa, primarily from Ghana and Ivory Coast. In 2022, African startups raised $5 billion in funding. While this is only 1.2% of the global total, Africa was the only region to experience year-over-year growth. However, the per capita investment is significantly lower compared to other regions. The gap with Latin America has narrowed, indicating a potential for growth. The Mercator projection, created in 1569, distorts the size of Africa, making it appear smaller than it actually is. In reality, Africa is 14 times larger than Europe. The African Union launched the Correct the Map campaign to promote true-size maps in schools. By 2034, Africa's annual labor force entrants will be far greater than those outside of Africa. However, a large percentage of jobs in sub-Saharan Africa are informal and vulnerable, concentrating a significant portion of extreme poverty. Africa holds a substantial portion of global mineral reserves, including platinum, manganese, and diamonds. Lake Malawi boasts more fish species than any other rift lake. Sudan alone has millions of hectares of uncultivated arable land. While Angola's oil-driven GDP per capita once exceeded Brazil's, a large percentage of its population still lives in poverty. Nigeria has surpassed South Africa as the continent's largest economy. During the colonial era, the Berlin Conference led to the partitioning of Africa among European powers. This division disregarded existing ethnic groups, resulting in borders that fueled numerous post-independence conflicts. The transatlantic slave trade resulted in the forced removal of millions of Africans, devastating West Africa and stunting early economic growth. After independence, the African miracle of the 1960s was followed by a debt crisis in the 1980s. However, the 2010s saw a resurgence, with Africa contributing a significant portion of global GDP growth. The continued use of the Mercator map has perpetuated underestimation and potentially influenced aid and investment decisions. Economic projections from the mid-2010s have largely held true, with Africa's GDP reaching trillions of dollars. Ethiopia has become one of the most populous countries in Africa. Startups like Flutterwave and TimeBank have achieved significant valuations and user bases. The youth bulge in Africa drives remittances and migration, powering tech hubs like Lagos. The Democratic Republic of Congo's cobalt has fueled the electric vehicle boom. The African Continental Free Trade Area aims to boost intra-Africa trade. The funding gap persists, highlighting the Africa premium in risk pricing. However, year-over-year growth signals potential catch-up. The resource-scarce debate highlights the paradox of resource-rich countries with high poverty rates. The Democratic Republic of Congo's cobalt mining has been linked to child labor. Western media has often focused on negative narratives, ignoring periods of significant economic growth. Afropessimism can be traced back to Cold War proxy wars. The African Union's MAP campaign faced resistance, and demands for slave trade reparations have largely gone unheeded. The youth bomb framing raises concerns about demographic alarmism. In conclusion, Africa is a continent of immense potential and complex challenges. Understanding its true size, resources, and demographics is crucial for a more accurate global perspective.